that are still looking to join. Welcome, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
So you do enter on mute. I believe if you're on your cell phone, that's a *6 to unmute yourself. So if you do have a question throughout today's topic, that you certainly can unmute by doing *6, or if you're on your computer, I'm sure you already have seen the mute unmute button, but I did set the call up to where everyone comes in muted in case you're joining us by cell phone in your car, and that way we don't have any interference. But do want to welcome everyone to today's call, and excited to kick another one of the social media studio trainings off. And today we're going to try a little different approach. You're going to see us this time, so that's a new approach. So you'll see our smiling faces here with you. And then also we're going to have with us, Lindsay is going to present and walk us through the social media training. Most of you have become familiar with her social media trainings that we're doing on the weekends. We've done a few during the weekdays. So we just thought Lindsay already is familiar with the content, and she's wrapping it all up and bundling it together for us. And so thank you, Lindsay, for your willingness to take this on and help us with this.
Of course. I think most of you know by now how much I enjoy talking. So this is perfect for me. Well, welcome everybody. It's great to see so many faces, many of you that I see on Saturdays and some of you that I don't. So I'm so glad that you are here. And as Ben mentioned, we do have a lot of additional training videos that are on the training.mannatech.com site. If you just go to Social Media Academy, the course, there's so many training videos. If you've missed any of my trainings, you want to catch up on that. So today, though, I'm excited to be partnering with Promo Republic, with Ben and Bo, to talk about the 5 ways to showcase products on your social media posts. Because I know that for a lot of us, sometimes I think that we get a little stuck on this, right? Because we go into it with, I don't want to be overly salesy. I don't want to annoy people. I don't want to weave in my content. And, you know, when we look at maybe previous trainings we've ever taken in the past, or different courses, or you just listen to different people, they are always talking about the lifestyle and selling yourself as a brand. But of course, having that conversation about Mannatech is so important. So I think that sometimes we feel a little bit scared in, how do I really bring this up in a strategic way that is going to create conversions and customers and really build my business, right? We've talked before about, it's not just building your presence online, it's actually about building the business too. So we are going to talk about some of these different ways today. So here, a quick little photo of Mr. Ben Mayo. So he's here in the chat with all of you today. If you guys have any questions, he is the tech king. So if you have any of those, and then we have myself, and then we have Bo, who will also be in the chat and interjecting when necessary, because she is the queen on all things Promo Republic and that back end. So if you have any questions about your experience so far, or if you see something you're like, I want to know how to do this, this looks amazing, just put that in the chat, because I'm going to keep talking away over here. So they're here to help you. So what we're going to talk about today in this presentation is, number 1, setting goals. It's important to have goals when we go online. It can't just be we're throwing spaghetti against the wall and hoping that what we do is working. We do want to be really strategic in how we show up and have that focus in mind. So we're going to talk about that today. We are going to talk about creating a content plan and what should our profiles look like? How many promotional posts should I be doing? When should I be doing lifestyle? And really, what is the entire body of work I'm creating? I love to look at Facebook or Instagram, really any sort of platform that you're wanting to utilize, almost like you're building out a magazine, right? You're the editor-in-chief of this magazine, and how does this all work together? It's not just about each individual post. It's about, what do all of these posts combined? What do they say about me? What do they say about Mannatech? And what do they say really about what I'm trying to do and build here, right? And what does it say about you? What does it say about the person following me and the potential customer? So really being able to connect all those pieces together. Then we're going to talk about different ways that you can showcase the Mannatech products, because I think sometimes we don't feel like maybe we're the most creative in this area, and getting some of those different examples can be really helpful. I think, Ben, maybe if you want to just mute someone for me. Thank you. Tech king. And then we're going to do a quick Q&A at the end. If you have any questions, whether it's on the content that you learned today, something that's come up as a question, or anything on the tech side when it comes to the social media studio. Okay, so first off, we're going to get into setting your goals. Like I said, we want to have an intention. When you get in the car, do you just drive around aimlessly, hoping that you'll get somewhere at some point? No, you have the destination in mind. Do I need to go to the grocery store? Am I driving to work? Am I going to go see my friends? Right? Because we need to have that goal in mind so that we can actively move forward towards it in the best way possible. And we need to adopt this into how we do business and how we show up online as well. Majority of the time when people come to me and they say, Lindsay, I'm having a hard time growing. And I say, what is your focus? What is your goal? Where are you trying to go? They're like, I don't know. I just want to be successful. I just want this to work. Well, what does that mean? What's the feel that you want to create? What is the end goal, whether it's the conversion or not? So number one, great goal, convert follower into a customer, right? We're not just looking to become Instagram famous, right? Well, that could be fun too, and can always be a secondary goal. But the main goal is to build our business, right? It's more about the numbers in our bank account and in our back office versus the numbers on our front-facing public social media pages, right? And for most of us, that's not our goal, is to become, Instagram famous or Facebook popular, go viral. It's really just to use social media to support our day-to-day business and hit those next income goals that we have for ourselves. And so really paying attention to the story I want to happen and I want to be displayed on social media is finding the follower, turning that follower into a lead. Because remember, we've talked about this before in previous trainings, is that a follower isn't a lead. A lead is somebody who wants to do business with you. It's your job on social media to turn that follower into a lead by warming them up and piquing their interest about you and your business. And then ultimately transferring them into the customer, right? If you've seen any of my trainings before, I've talked about my, TLC, traffic, leads, conversion. Find the people, make them want what you have, and then deliver what you have to them. So that is absolutely a goal that we need to have. And this, even you write down these 4 goals, write them on a piece of paper, write them in your phone. And when you're planning your content or you're going to post to social media, come back and go, is what I'm doing helping me achieve these 4 things? Second one, to build your personal brand. How many of you have ever heard of KLT? The know, like, and trust factor. Okay. We need to always be building KLT because people do business with who? People they want to be friends with, people that they know, right? The reason why when our friends tell us about a great restaurant or an amazing product or a great movie that they saw, the reason why we go to that restaurant, we go buy that, band CD, or we go buy that product is because of their referral, because we know, like, and trust them. We trust that our friends recommend products that are great. And so we don't even need the whole explanation about why they're great. We just know that our friend is great. And so when we're trying to build our personal brand online, we want to be building that relationship and that familiarity. And so that is sharing who you are, right? You've heard me talk about too, perhaps in the past, for example, using the new U90 challenge, right? When we're marketing something like that, it's not just about sharing the product, showing what they get, talking about, Ashley Torian training on Monday nights. It's also showing who are you in the challenge, right? It's using posts to go, here's what I ate today. Here's a selfie of me going on a walk. It's going live on Facebook while you're, setting up your morning to show someone, here's what a day in the life looks like. Right? Because we're going to talk about that social proof also a little bit later in this presentation about why that's so important. And when you're building that personal brand, it's who am I? Right? Who am I and what is relevant to my customer and what is it going to make them build that KLT factor? So we want them to obviously become a customer, paying customer. That'd be nice. Number 2, to know us, to go, oh yeah, Lindsay, I trust everything she says because she's so vulnerable. She shares who she is. She's authentic. And we want to be searchable, right? We want to make sure that we are available and we are always open to opportunities. Even if you don't do this business full time, you 100% of the time need to be ready for business, because that business can show up at any time. And being present in social and searchable online means that that door, that open sign is always there. So people are likely to find you, right? And so if you're on Instagram, this is having a public account, not just having a private, Instagram for your friends and family that people need to follow you to see your content. It's going, I'm going to create a business account or a creator account. And right now on Saturdays, we are going through Instagram. We've done 2 sessions already. So if you're not familiar with that, be sure to check that out. And then on Facebook, it's having a Facebook group. It is having a business page. It is having a personal profile that is not super limited so that people can find us, because people are looking for what you have. Majority of the time, we're just not present and sharing that information. They don't know where to find us. And so do you know what happens? They find somebody else. It's not that people don't want to buy from you. They are buying. They're buying products in the same industry as us. They're buying products that are very similar to us. Less than us, right? And the main reason isn't because they don't like you. It's because they can't find you. Okay. It's like having a store somewhere out in a business park or an industrial area and not telling anybody where it is, right? Are you going to have that foot traffic every single day to your business? No, we want to be searchable. And then retain interest in the product, right? It's not, when we look at that personal brand, that KLT factor is so important, but so is the product, right? We don't want to stray so far from not talking about our business and about Mannatech that people are only interested in us, but they're not interested in what we offer. And so it's really having that combination, why I'm so excited to be talking about how to really showcase the product today. So when we have those, 4 sort of main goals in mind, and you may have additional goals on there as well, right? That you set for yourself, but having that focus is going to be really important. So now we're going to look at the content plan. So what types of things should I be posting to Facebook? What types of things should I be posting to Instagram or LinkedIn? Because really this can work for any platform that you're on. And so you can integrate these different types of posts into your social media and integrate the product into all of these as well. So we have promotional, right? So this is going to obviously be about promoting the product, things, maybe there's a sale going on, there's a new product launch, something that we're really highlighting the company. We have educational. You're teaching maybe to an ingredient, you're teaching to, something about gut health. You're talking about hormones and you're utilizing the products to round it out. You're identifying the problem and you're providing the solution. A lot of us identify the problem really well, but then we're too afraid to provide the solution. Right? So it's having the confidence to also have that conversation and integrate those. Lifestyle. How do you live? Right? What does your day look like? When we talk about social proof, we're going to hear more about that, in that people want to emulate certain behaviors and characteristics and habits of people that they find successful, people that they look up to and want to be like. And a lot of the times that comes down to purchasing the same products, because with the hope of this is going to create the same behaviors. So showcase, you in the morning taking OSP. Showcase when you're on your walk and you have, impact in your water bottle. Showcase, do a recipe with True Health, right? Share your shake or your smoothie. And so it's sharing, like, what does it look like to be me, right? Because people are attracted to people that are happy and positive and inspirational and uplifting. And then when you tie your products to that, it can be a really successful combination. Posts that are engaging. So when you look at that, it's now we're not just talking at our audience, we're trying to create a conversation. So if you're not always familiar with what does that engaging word mean, it's how can I create a conversation around this post, right? And we're going to see some examples of that. And then of course, inspiring. How do I inspire others? We know that stories sell, right? And so regardless of what your story is, and each and every single one of you have a story. And if you don't know what that story is, I encourage you to take the time to really reflect and get curious about that, because that's going to come up in how inspiring you are. Maybe you're a single parent. Maybe you totally, overhauled your wellness. Maybe you've maintained that wellness for some time. Maybe you are somebody who is a chronic, hitting the snooze on the alarm every single day and living off of coffee. And now that you've adopted this new lifestyle, you are in tune with your circadian rhythm. You wake up early in the morning, you drink your water, you're going for your walks. That's inspiring because you're showing the transformation and the change, right? And that can come from our own stories. And then it can come into also utilizing inspirational posts and quotes and things like that as well. So let's look at some different examples here and how we can integrate the product into some of these different categories. So number one, here's a great educational one. So skipping the grocery store stress, right? This is something that we actually posted to our own Mannatech page. And we talked about how can you navigate shopping, right? Because for most people, in one of the training sessions that I did on a Saturday, we were talking about creating your niche market and really having a specific conversation. And a lot of people said, I want to teach people how to live healthier, right? And so I said, but what does that mean? Right? You have to keep going, but what does that mean? Get really specific. And in one of the conversations we did as an example with Mary Jo actually is we got down to so specific of she wants to help people change their taste buds around healthy food, because she's like, people don't eat healthy. I'm like, well, why do you think that is? Well, they don't like it. Right? And it's like, okay, so let's talk about that. Right? And so we talked about how can you shop more effectively, when you are trying to, stick to a certain lifestyle. So that would be more the educational, right? We're teaching somebody how to do something. Then we have engaging, right? The engaging is about creating, like I said, the conversation. And so a post like this, when we're talking about the Mannatech opportunity and we're inviting somebody to join us on a call to learn more. Again, we're inviting the viewer into community with us. We want them to be present too. It's not just about consuming our content or going, great, these are great tips, I'm going to move on. We want them to show up and be present with us. Engaging can look like a variety of different things, making sure that you have call to actions on your post. Say, what do you think about this? Even if we look at the educational, how we can incorporate some engagement into that is by saying, what is your top tip at the grocery store? Or what is your, major flub at the grocery store? My best tip is for myself is always to not go to the grocery store when I'm hungry, because then I load my grocery cart with things that I'm craving versus things that I've been intentional about setting. Right. And I also know I don't like doing it before I have to eat, because then what happens is I will normally go home and order dinner or pick up something because I just shopped and I got to put all this away. There's no way I'm now cooking it all, right? And so I know that I'm going to stick more to my plan when I go after dinner, when I go after lunch, because I don't have those cravings. And then I know I'm not going to grab something on the way out. So those are two examples there. We have promotional. So this is where we are focusing on the product. Right? The product is the highlight. It's not something that we're integrating into a photo or into the lifestyle, or we're using it as a teaching opportunity. It's, hey, here's the product. I'm going to highlight it and let me showcase some of the benefits. And we're going to talk about too some different ways to take some photos of this. I absolutely love this one. I believe Lauren had done this, who is one of our interns under Ben. And just to, put that on top of like some slices of, looks like orange and lemon, right? It's eye-catching colors like that too, right? If you look at Facebook, for example, what are the colors on Facebook? White and blue. So colors like yellows and reds can really pop out on a platform that is blue. If all of your posts are that same white and blue color as Facebook, are your posts going to pop out at somebody? Probably not. They're going to get kind of lost in the color palette that Facebook already has. And so something like this, when you're taking just the product, displaying it in an interesting way. We have inspiring, which I said could be your story, or it could be something like a quote post, right? These tend to get a lot of engagement, a lot more likes and comments, because people want to be motivated. When we're scheduling our own content on Mondays, right? I think people need motivation and inspiration the most on Mondays. And so schedule these for early in the morning when people are waking up. And what's the first thing most people do? Go on their phone. Some people before they even get out of bed. Now that might not be your habit, right? As someone in the wellness space, but for many of your potential leads, it is their habit. And so if you know that one of the first things that they're going to do is check their phone and they're already hating their Monday. It is like 6:30 in the morning and they're already complaining about they hate their job, they have no energy, this, that, and the other thing. What do they need for that day? A source of inspiration and motivation, and that can come from you. And so when you're in the social media studio and you're creating your posts and you're scheduling them out, pay attention to when am I also delivering this message? We talk about M5M on Sundays because people are most connected to their family on Sundays, to their belief systems, their faith, and they're more likely to consider fundraising and giving back because we know that they're more centered on their heart in that day. Versus on Monday, they're like, all right, what's my to-do list? I got to get going, right? Like boom, boom, boom. I need to knock these things off. So think about that when it comes with your content too. Where does this make sense in my plan? Okay, so 5 ways to showcase the Mannatech products. Let's talk about this. Number 1, these are called Flatlays. So these are some of my favorite ones. This is the image you're going to see here. So these are more of the lifestyle images. Lifestyle doesn't always mean that you need to specifically be in the photo. It's when somebody looks at the photo, they can envision themselves either there with you or in it, right? So we have Flatlay, which we're going to talk about, focusing on a unique attribute, a more relaxed feel that brings out more of our emotional side, and then just playing with different graphics. So let's look at a few of these examples. So the first one is Flatlay, which is what the previous one was as well. So this is more of this bird's eye top-down view, okay? And the reason why these really work is that we look like we are looking at this. So this one on the left, for example, we have, you know, the Glyco Cafe there. We have some macarons there, enjoy the little things. We have this like beautiful setup. It's like we are looking down at our own counter. We're seeing ourselves in the photo, and that can evoke also what? Emotions, right? Put in the chat, what does this photo make you feel on the left side? I had to do this to see, is it on the left or the right? L for left, right? What does that make you feel? Right? It's beautiful. It's calm. The greens are so calming, having nature in there. It's like, oh, that seems like a, you know, amazing little morning, enjoying the little things, to remember to practice gratitude, you know, maybe to journal. I love that. Chrissy said, calm with a burst of energy. Feels like a breath of fresh air. Love that one too. Relaxed, delicious, right? And so when you think about that, it feels like you're the one looking at it. That's why I love Flatlays. On the one on the right, we have the product, right? So the first one we had the Glyco Cafe in the cup. The second one we have the True Shape, and it's beside our dumbbells. Almost forgot what that word was called. Dumbbells, right? So what does this post say to you? How does this make you feel? Well, I should probably take True Shape when I'm working out, right? Like, oh yeah, I want to be physically fit today. I'm healthy. Time to hit the gym. Right? It evokes, let's get her done. I love that, Christy. Right? And so the Flatlays just aren't about being aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, because they are beautiful. I love Flatlays, especially because it can create some white space, right? So when we look at our page 2, we want a bit of that breathing room. Imagine you were reading a book and it's just all words crammed, right? There's no margins. When you look at a magazine, you see a lot of white space so that you can take in the image, right? And go, what is this saying to me? How does this make me feel? That's sometimes done consciously, but also subconsciously, right? And that's what all of this is doing. So I love Flatlays. All you really have to do is take your camera, right? You can style some different photo or some different products or things down there. Say you wanted to do OSP, for example, you could do a purse that, you know, is laying down and has some things sort of spilling out of it. And you could have OSP there. Right? That I always put it in there. I throw OSP in my partner's lunchbox every single day when he brings it to work, because it's so easy, because it's in a package and it's on the go. It's not about me going through each of the you know, the different bottles and picking out what he should have, or not throwing, you know, all those different bottles in his lunch bag with him. Because is he going to take them like that? No. It's about the convenience. It's the, when you're running out the door, it's a quick thing to always have in your purse. So you know that even if you've missed taking them in the morning, you always have a few on hand, right? And so that could be an idea that you do as well. So another example is focusing on unique attribute. I love this one on the left so much. Okay, it's so simple. And just having, you know, some of those tablets sort of flying in the air, it catches what? Your attention. Something like this may not evoke so much feeling, but it's eye-catching, it's creative. So if there's something about the product where, for example, what is a great product that you think has a unique attribute? Manna bears, right? So when you're showcasing Manna bears, it doesn't always have to be in the bottle. Actually take them out. We posted one, I believe it was this morning or yesterday, and our new photographer had the bottle laying down as a flat lay and used the Manna bears coming out of it to do the shape of a heart, right? So you have a few different unique attributes there. And it's letting yourself just get creative and have fun with it. The one on the right, another great example, we have our life sticks. I love these ones. I have these every single day. And what does this one make you feel? Being out in the sun, you know, putting on your shades, getting some vitamin D, something on the go while we're being active and out and about. These are great to have on hand. And they're great to bring even if you're at a resort by the pool, right? This is something that you can just add to your drink, get some water, glass of ice, boom, there you go, right? So again, it's still creating this sense of, I want to be a part of this. Then we have our relaxed feel, okay? So this is more about our emotional content. So with this emotional content, it's going to evoke positive feelings. What is the first one? What feeling does that give you? He's laughing. It makes us feel joyous. We feel like we're right there with them. I also love the sort of soft filter to it, right? It's not like I don't feel energized. I feel like calm and happy, right? The one on the right, how does that make you feel? It's exciting to see, you know, this dad is teaching a healthy lifestyle to his child, right? We can see ourselves in this. You envision yourself as that parent or grandparent. We see ourselves in these photos, right? It's not just about what the photo is. And so this is going to make our users feel happy and important and see themselves in this. And so that's why it's important to consider this when you're posting. How do I want my customer, and write that down. How do I want my followers to feel? How do I want them to feel? When they come here, I always make a promise to, you know, myself of, I promise that every time somebody leaves my social media, they're going to feel uplifted, empowered, and supported by a community. If you can create that mission statement for yourself, then you'll see it show up in your content. And all of a sudden, you're going to have so many ideas for your content too. And then also playing with graphics, allowing yourself, this is why I love the social media studio too, because there's so many fun things you can do there. You can take the products that we have them for you that don't have the background, and you can find a, you know, do a fun image in the background. You can go to the photo section and add that and just superimpose, for example, like the GI defense here, right? It gives more interest to it instead of it just being a white background. So super, super fun and easy. Get creative in the social media studio. Don't be afraid of it. It's not going to blow up if you click the wrong button, right? It doesn't say this post sucks, go home, log off. No, you get to do whatever you want with it. And if you do something and it doesn't get a lot of engagement either, it's okay. There's no failures in social media. There's just learning from it, right? Because also in the studio, we get the insights. We get to see how our content is doing. But also give it enough time. You can't just post something once and go, oh my goodness, I didn't hit presidential today because of this one social media post I did. No, it takes time and consistency. And so keep doing it. Give yourself at least 3 months of a strategy to see, is this working? We have live ideas. So how many of you in the chat go live on Facebook or live on Instagram, right? This is really important. Facebook Live, this was really interesting. Bo provided this statistic that Facebook Live viewership has increased 50% in spring 2021, which is interesting because I think that we assume that, with algorithms forever changing and, more and more accounts popping up every day and more content, that people must not be seeing content as much anymore. And in some ways that's true, but to see a statistic like that, 50% Facebook Live viewership, what does that tell you? That Facebook is pushing live videos, that they want you to do live videos. Richard says he does them live once a week. Lisa says that she does. Christy just started doing them again. So commit to this. Commit to go, okay, I'm going to do this every single Thursday. Or I'm going to do it every single day for 30 days. So what are some different ideas that you could do? Because sometimes we go, okay, I'm going to do the lives, but what on earth am I going to talk about? Doing an unboxing. Next time you get an order from Mannatech in the mail, hop on Facebook Live and walk people through that. It's exciting. It piques people's interest. People are very curious by nature, right? And so when you have, especially that Mannatech box has the branding on it and the logo, you can even, go live and go right to your front porch and show them and bring it in, right? You can do product reviews, tips, and hacks. It could be something, more on the science side, but if you're not, familiar with all of the science around the products, it can be about tips, how to remember to take it every day, right? It's easy to sell the product. It's more difficult to get people to keep taking the product because you don't just sell the product, you sell the habit change, right? And that's why follow up and building that community is so important. So you can hop on live and say, here's how I remember to take my supplements every morning. Sometimes the things that seem sort of a no-brainer to you are the things that you should go live and share because they're common to you, but they're not common to others. So don't think, I have nothing to talk about. You have everything to talk about because your life looks very different. Your day looks very different than anybody else, which makes it what? Interesting. It's not interesting to you because you live it every single day. Your life is boring to you. For the most part, most of us feel that way. But to somebody else, if I could, take a peek into Bo's day or Ben's day or Richard's day, it's interesting to me what they do because it's not what I do. So showcase that so people can learn from you. And then streaming from events. Anytime that you're in a Mannatech event, if you're hosting an event yourself, we've been talking a lot more about this in Emerge, for example. Hosting events, you're going to hear about it. Those of you that are attending Rainmaker next weekend, you're going to hear more about events. Right? And so it's streaming from there as well. So we have this unboxing example. Okay, you're going through. Unboxings do very, very well online. People are very curious creatures. Okay, so you could do an order, open that up, especially if you have a new associate. Get your new associate to go live on Facebook when they're opening up their first order and to share that with their friends and family. Here are the product reviews, okay, those tips and those hacks. These are very important types of content because a lot of the times we get focused on selling the features and not the benefits. When you're talking about those reviews, those tips, right? The tutorials, you're showing the value, you're showing how to use it, and you're building the interest for the product. And then, like I said, any events, stream live, go live on Facebook. People think it's exciting that you're doing this. Most people don't get to go to conferences. Most people don't get to go on incentive trips fully paid for. Most people don't get to go to fancy galas, right? So when you go live and you're sharing, we have these amazing speakers, we have these amazing coaches, even today to, take a little photo and post it and go, wow, like look what my company offers us. Those are some of the additional values when you're trying to build the interest, not just for the product, but for the company, right? Because there's 5 benefits to Mannatech. The additional income, the flexibility of time, the personal and professional development, friendships, and recognition. Be sure to share all those different aspects of the business. And you can do that easily through all these examples here.
Can I just jump in as well?
Yeah.
With the live streams, you get a bigger reach because, you put your stuff right in front of people. People get a notification, so-and-so has gone live. They're going to want to see what's going on because there's like a sense of urgency because there's a very short window of time that you'll be on that live. So they're going to want to know like, oh, what's this person doing? I want to see before they cut the video, and then you won't know what's gone on, and then you would have missed out, and you're gonna be like, oh, I've got FOMO now, and things like that. And so it's definitely a really interesting way to do it.
Yes. And Facebook rewards people's engagement. So the more that you're showing up and engaging and doing live video, you're going to continue. Facebook, we've seen that viewership is up. They're going to more likely to push that content out over any type of content into the newsfeed. And the more people show up to watch, it means what? They're more likely to see your future posts, the ones that you post after that. So we're just getting more and more reach and engagement and eyes on our page. And sometimes, again, it doesn't have to be necessarily with the product. I was looking through when I first started, going through the Facebook and looking at old photos and always trying to find different things to talk about. There was an event that Mannatech had where you all had the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders there dancing at your event. And they have this like show where they go through all the cheerleaders and the process. And I watch it a lot on Facebook because I have a dance background and I love it. And if I was just scrolling and I saw that you're at an event where you had the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders dancing, that is, like Bo just said, that makes me have that FOMO, which is fear of missing out. What's going on? Why are they there? How did they get there? This seems exciting. I want to be a part of this. All right, so let's talk about series of posts. So we can talk about different focuses here. So having the ingredient focus, having a purpose, and then having a season. Okay, these are other things you can incorporate. So here's an example of an ingredient focus. So we're talking about magnesium. We're not talking about a specific product, but we're talking about which products, why magnesium is so important. And then we're sharing, here are the products that have magnesium in it, right? Here's why you need this every single day. Here's why you need this micronutrient. Here's what it's good for. And then here's the solution. Here's the product that you need. So leading more with why this is beneficial. Okay. We have purpose focus. So this one is more about, for example, this one here, being proactive with your healthy aging. What is the purpose in taking this? So building that out, right? I love OSP, especially because of how easy it is. It helps us stay more committed, right? And then we have seasons. So every time that there's a season change, pay attention to that. This one, hello, autumn, right? This is the first day of fall. So this can be something that you post, that you share, and then think about that too. So for October, even our own photographer is taking some of the products and going, how can I use this in different ways? How can I use True Health and do a pumpkin spice shake? How can I take, we're going to be taking the new life sticks, the hibiscus, the pink drink ones. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. How can we use that too? So it's look up calendars and go, what national day is it? Or what season am I going into? And how can I incorporate my products in here? Lisa asked, Lindsay, do you mean post on profile or in a group? Honestly, this works, everyone, for any which way that you want to use it. This is why I love Facebook the most, is that it's very versatile. So you can use these on your personal profile. You can utilize them in a group. Some people use business pages, though I will say business page reach is down. I talk about that on my trainings, but utilizing the personal page in your group is always one of my favorite ways to really grow on Facebook and then on Instagram. So they can really work wherever that you feel like you're showing up most. And then giveaways. Giveaways, number 4, really, really easy way to integrate the product and also engagement. So different reasons that you can host a giveaway is maybe a milestone. So maybe it's, your anniversary at the company. So you're like, I want to do a giveaway, or it's your birthday, or, you or your team have ranked up. Maybe you just hit presidential. So you're going to do a huge giveaway on your page. Okay. It could be for highlighting the value, edutainment. Let's look at some different ones here. So these are examples of a milestone or something happening that you are ranking up, that you could utilize this to also then attach this though to a giveaway, right? Giveaways drive engagement. What you could do is, post to Facebook or Instagram, and be mindful, Facebook and Instagram have different rules associated with giveaways. I love doing giveaways on Instagram because there's really like no rules. On Instagram, you can get people to comment on the post, tag their friends. You can say, tag 3 friends on this post, be sure to like it and follow my account. right? Some people also include additional actions of share it to your Instagram story or post this to your own feed. On Facebook, when it comes to giveaways, you can ask people to comment and to like. You cannot ask them to share, and you cannot ask them to tag a friend. On Facebook, the reason why they do this is that they don't want people's news feeds just being free giveaways. They want there to be actual content. The difference between Facebook and Instagram is Facebook is centered on relationship building and Instagram is focused on content, right? So the types of, oh, I'm really into wellness. So that's what I'm going to see most of on Instagram. But on Facebook, I'm going to see people that I engage with most. And so they just don't like seeing, they don't like cluttering the news feed with just free things. So you can't ask anyone to share or to tag their friend on Facebook. You can say, comment below on this post to be entered into a giveaway, right? And you can give away a product. But on Instagram, there's much less rules there. Okay. So you can highlight the value of your prize. So maybe you're giving away OSP, right? And you're going to talk about why they need to enter the giveaway because this is so exciting and this is why you need it. Christy said, I love that interview on Impact with Tate Switzer and Al Bala. Yes, it's a great one, right? And it's what? Engaging. If he would have wrote that out as a long post, would it be as engaging as that live interview? No, right? So incorporate that. And then number 5, the fifth and last way to highlight the product is through social proof. So having other experts talk or getting testimonials and reviews, right? So there's a lot of people that Mannatech shares as well, the different athletes that they partner with, different experts in the science and health and wellness community that you can leverage those conversations. You can leverage those posts and share those with other people, right? Because especially when we're new at building a business, especially if we're still building in our warm market, sometimes our friends and family, they know us so well that they don't look at us as the expert. So using somebody else's voice, this could even be a leader on your team, right? And so this is, for example, is the experts talking. So this is Dr. Haley, and they are talking about Manna Bears and why Manna Bears are an amazing part of your child's everyday morning routine. I just ordered another 3 bottles of them, and I gave one to my sister-in-law for her kids. The other ones are for me because they're delicious and they're not just for kids. But this is, you see somebody like this that has the credibility of being a doctor and they're sharing this, leverage that, reshare it to your own page. Okay. And then we have wisdom from other people. So we're crowdsourcing content, right? So maybe it's other associates, maybe it's what other people have shared. You can share their thoughts, their testimonials, and their reviews on the product. Oh, shoot. Go back here for a second. And reviews are really great because when we are looking at that social proof means that if you do the things that I do, you're going to feel and live the way that I do, right? That's what we believe. Right. And so when we're talking about integrating the products and we're showing that people have had transformations and we're showing that other people are using it, not just us, it builds people's belief systems and that trust factor. It's not just Lindsay saying this is good. She's shared that this doctor said it's great, that her customers have said it's great, that other associates have said it's great. So it's building that trust in you as the spokesperson and in the product. So every time you get a review from a customer, you can turn that into a graphic in the social media studio. It's very easy. You can either take a screenshot of it and put it on there and do a different background. You can type out their testimonial using the text features on there as well. Okay, so keeping all of this in mind. So I hope that you are walking away from today's presentation with a lot of different examples and content ideas. And I hope that you can see now that when you're utilizing the social media studio and you're looking at content, that there's so much to do. You're not limited in it and that you have a bit more of a focus here. Ben and Bo, did you want to add anything before we maybe go into if anyone has some questions or?
No, I think you've pretty much covered everything.
Great. Do any of you in the chat have any questions, or if you want to unmute yourself or anything like that? We are here for you. Thank you, Christy. honestly, if I was in the field, utilizing the studio is a no-brainer. I've talked about this before. Oh yes, we have a question.
Hi, Lindsay. That's great. Thank you very much. Nice
Thanks,
to see
Steph.
everyone. I know I just started looking at the studio properly yesterday. Happily, Bo spent some time with me, and it really, really is fabulous. It's like, it is amazing. So I just urge anyone to go in and look at it and stop playing around. It's better than I could have even thought, but I hadn't taken the time to look at it. So then this was brilliant, really helpful. Thank you so much.
So Ben, with this recording, we're gonna dictate what Steph just shared and turn that into a graphic in the social media studio and share that in the North America group to let everyone know how awesome the studio is. Because, you know, there are so many different platforms where you can create graphics, right? There's so many different ones. But having all of your Mannatech assets in one place is invaluable. You don't have to try to look through, oh, I need to go find this product image, or you're trying to look through your own, you know, files on your computer to find a photo of, you know, life or a plus or something like that. You just get to go right into the studio and it's all there for you. And then you get to schedule it directly from there. You're not then downloading it and then moving it to another app. It's really that one-stop shop. And then plus it has if you use any of those keywords, and it has like the compliance sort of aspect to it where it reminds you, right? Again, especially for new people, everyone that you onboard to your team, this should be one of the first conversations that you have with them. If you're going to be posting to social media, which you should, right? This is what you need to get on. Thanks so much for that, Steph.
Hi, Lindsay. I have a questions.
Yes.
I'm Finny from the Netherlands, and I was into the studio and I tried to change the language in Dutch, but that I find hard to do. I don't know if there's a special trick for it. If I can translate the English in Dutch right away, or maybe for other people in another language, because a lot of people don't have the English, the right word. So on my Dutch group, I want to do it in Dutch. But to change that, well, I didn't figure that out right away. I can post it and then I can change it, but I couldn't find how to translate it right away in Dutch and then make it ready for putting in the group.
Great feedback and question. Bo or Ben, do you have anything to speak to that?
So at the moment, there isn't an easy way to translate it. So the posts or the templates that you're using, which have already copy in there, you do have to translate them yourselves for now, but definitely something that, you know, Ben and I and Lindsay can talk about, you know, offline, and see how we can come up with a better way of giving you you know, posts and templates in your languages, and so that it makes it easier for you to just choose the templates and post straight away.
Okay. That'd be nice if you can do that. But it's okay. It works. I can do it, translate it. That's okay. But it's an extra step. So
yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Great content, Lindsay.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Bo did the slides. I just presented it. So Ben oversees it all. And so
okay. Thank
it was
you.
a group effort.
Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. Steph, do you have oh no, you're just doing the clapping emojis. Love that. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, we have this once a month, so be sure to be back. Ben will always email that out, so you will have that. If there's somebody that is on your team that is not here today, let them know how invaluable the training is and that the studio is, and to get more involved. For those of you that follow me for social media training, reminder, we don't have it this weekend for the Canadian Thanksgiving. I'll be away. And then next weekend we have Rainmakers. So we will start back in 2 weeks, that Saturday, every Saturday at 11 Central for some additional training. So thank you guys so much for being here. Join us next month, and yeah, have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.